If you've ever wanted to add a stencil to your sourdough, this is the video for you. I'm gonna show you a very quick and simple way to add a stencil to your bread. This can help you personalize your loaf, maybe make something fun for your family, or if you're selling bread, it can help differentiate different breads. Now we're gonna start with a very simple stencil. This one says bread, etc., which is the title of my first book. I cannot wait for you to get your hands on it, but you could do anything. This stencil was cut out on a cry cut machine. If you have one, great. If you have a friend that has one, also great. You can also just cut something out of a margarine lid, out of a piece of paper, whatever you want. You could even make a little snowflake. For stenciling, you're gonna need a loaf of bread, obviously. This is a 2-kilo miche we're gonna stencil today. I've got a sifter, a fine sifter. We're gonna need a lamb, bread lamb. I'm gonna use some dusting flour. Now this is just the flour I use to dust my baskets with. There is rice flour and rye in here. If you want to use straight rice flour, you can. You could also use regular flour. I personally find that rice flour stays a little bit better on the loaf and it looks a bit nicer, but you do what's best for you. Finally, if you wanted to do something really fun, you could use cocoa powder, which will give a brown look to the dough. And maybe you wanna have half cocoa powder, half rice flour. Get creative. To start, we're gonna flip our bread dough onto my firing peel. So if you're firing in a home oven, that could be something like this. If you're firing in a commercial deck oven, you might be adding these to your loader. So to start, we're gonna let this out onto the peel. Now, if you want, you can just dust this lightly. That's gonna allow you to move it if you make a mistake. Not necessary. Just gently let your loaf out. Now, because I dust my baskets with a bit of flour, I like to remove any excess flour, as this is gonna take away from the stencil that we're trying to add. So we're gonna just remove this. Of course, we're making a bit of a mess here. We'll just get this off the thing. And now we have a clean slate or a clean loaf to stencil. The next thing we're gonna do is we're going to place our stencil on top. Now, if you want, just to make your life easier, I happen to have some tape here. And we're gonna just make a little handle here and add this to the side, and we'll add one on the other side. And what this is gonna allow us to do is to just take this off without ruining our stencil. So now we can just pick this off and remove the stencil. Next, you're gonna take a little bit of your dusting flour and place it in your stencil like this. And we're gonna use this to dust the loaf. So you're gonna go all the way across and dust it. So the next thing we're gonna wanna do is you're gonna take your flour, your dusting flour, and I like to just tap this with a spoon, and we're gonna go around delicately. Now, there's a fine line. You want enough flour to cover the loaf, but you don't want so much flour that you're eating a dead dough off the top when it's baked. So once you've got a good coating, I like to check and make sure I've got everywhere. If I don't, just give it an extra tap in those corners where you think you might have missed it. Make sure you've got your nice circle pattern or whatever it is. Then you're gonna just very delicately remove the stencil. You can see where we've got it. Now I've got a little bit of a mess up there, but that's okay. Now with the lamb, I'm gonna just place the scores on the outside as to not do any damage to the stencil. And we're gonna throw this in the oven now. All right, so my stencil bread is done. It looks amazing. You can see the very clean logo there, bread, etc. This is a great way for you to personalize your baking. Make something fun. Maybe you have a holiday, a theme, a favorite sports team, or maybe you have a book, just like I do. This is a great time for me to plug my book, Bread, etc. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.